Graphing and WIMS. WIMS has several different graph types depending on the analysis you are trying to perform. I'm going to take you through a couple of our most popular ways to look at data. Right here on my dashboard, I've got a quick trend graph. So this is just looking at a single point in time. And I can come in here and change it and look at any kind of date range. I can also zoom in on this graph. This is the simplest graph we have. You can look at any point in the system at any time. In this case, I had it on my dashboard. The most common graph that we do is under graph pack line. This is how we get trends and look for correlations between points. So in this case, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to add variables into the graph. I'm going to look at my influent location, and I'm going to go look at influent, flow, and TSS. So I just click on those two. I click add it in. I get the graph pulled up. I can come in here again, scroll through months if I want to. Or again, I'll just do, let's say last 90 days. Some nice features is I can either hide or dim a particular line. So let's say I've got a bunch of lines on the graph and I want to kind of look at it. I can dim that line to kind of focus on the one I need to. And I can further save these graphs if I spend a lot of time to get to the view I want. Here I'm going to open a graph and I'm just going to look at my Effluent BOD compliance graph. Click OK. What it has is it shows my monthly max limit on the graph, and this is the monthly average. So most of the time I am below it, though I am above it for several days here. It's just a nice way to look. All of our graphs can be saved. They can be viewed in this manner, or they can be viewed on the dashboard. The next thing I want to look at is a year-over-year graph. So this is just a different way of looking at data. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to look at, let's say, Effluent or Influent BOD. Let's say we want to take a look at that. So what I see here is for the month I have pulled up, May, I see the May values for 24, 23, 22, and 21. I can change the number of years, and I can also change the variable very easily. Let's look at our flow. There it is. Let's look back. In April, that's what it looks like. Seems like yeah, during the middle of the month, our flows always increase in April. So that's an interesting story. Again, we can save these views if we want to bring them up later. Another graph a lot of our users like is the bar graph. I'm just going to open one that I have saved. I've got what we call the budget report. So this is just showing all of my cost, my operating cost stacked. So I can get a sense, and I see my two kind of peaks are in January 24 and May 24. So this data is obviously grouped monthly. And what I'm looking at here is it looks like the increase is due to chemical costs and energy costs go up. So I can kind of quickly analyze that data. Again, I can make this graph bigger, make it full screen, all of that kind of stuff. Now, for simple graphs and for operators, they may just want to use our web interface. So what I have here is I have the Rio product pulled up, looking at the same data sets. I'm looking at the data in a spreadsheet. In this case, I'm going to go to graphs. To set up a new graph, it's very easy. I click new graph. That same tree that you've seen earlier is right there. I'm going to look at my aeration basin, let's say mixed liquor, suspended solids, versus, let's say, my Effluent BOD. So I'm going to search my tree for BOD, go down to Effluent, see that one. I get both of them. In this case, it placed it on separate y-axes because the scales of these numbers are very different. And again, here's the beauty. Any date range I want to look at, I can just kind of type it in. And there's a long-term trend analysis. And again, if I want to expand that graph out, I can look at it bigger. That's just a quick overview of graph and trending. There's more you can do with correlations, probabilities, and things like that. But for a majority of users, that's the way they analyze their data. Thank you.